Hello and welcome to this video. This is proportion lesson 2. So this is our second lesson on proportion, and in this lesson we are talking about direct proportion. Now, what is direct proportion? Direct proportion is the proportional relationship between two quantities or values in which the increase or rise of one quantity or value results to the increase of the other quantity or value and vice versa. Now, what this means is that why one value is increasing, the other value is also what? Increasing. So we can have the example is in the following scenario or life experiences. Number one, one of the place we can easily find direct proportion is in savings. How does that happen? You know that the more money you save, the more money you have. So more savings, more money. So when you save more, you have more money, and when you save less, you also have less money. Another example is in working and earning. The more you work, the more you earn. So when your working increases, your earning will also what? Increases. So that is a direct proportion, because when one side increases, the other side is also what? Increasing. So more work, more pay. More work, more pay. Also, we also have example of in buying and paying, which is which involves shopping or buying and selling as well. Let's say buying and selling. So how does this involve a direct proportion? Now you know that when you buy more, the more you buy, the more you pay. The more you buy, the more you pay. So when you buy more, as you are buying more, you are also what? Paying more on this side. So that is what. And when you buy less, when your buying reduces, your what? You pay less. Another example is also found in time and distance. In time and distance, also have an example of direct proportion. How does that happen? You know that more time is equal to what? More distance. So the more time you travel, the more distance you covered. So when the time of the journey increases, the distance you cover also increases. And when the time decreases, the distance you cover also decreases. And the last example here is money and change. The more money you have to change, the more money you have to change, the more change you have. So that is how direct proportion can be exemplified in real life. And then we are going to look at the formula of direct proportion, or how it can be calculated. Now look at this formula now. Direct proportion is calculated by dividing quantities of known proportional values and multiplying by the quantity with unknown proportional value. Now this is given by this formula you can see here that says D is equals to A over B times C. Now how does it happen now? A over B are what we know as the quantities of known proportional values is what is A and B. So you divide those quantities by them. So that is A divided by B. And then at the same time, then you now multiply by the quantity with unknown proportional value. That is C now. So this C, as you see here now, is the quantity whose proportional value is not known and which the value is to be found. And then one more thing you should know about this formula is that your B and C must be of the same unit. Your B and C are the same unit, while our D and our A are of the same unit. Please take note of that. So when you're making your arrangement or use the formula, note that these B and C are of the same unit, and then the A and D are of the same unit. So now let us go to solve some problems on direct proportion. That takes us to the following problem. Number one, this problem comes from saving, like we are just explaining the examples given. So this problem comes from saving. Let us look at how we can solve problem on savings. Now, this problem says a boy saves 15 naira each day. How much can he save in 12 days? Now, solution. We have, first of all, start with our formula that says D is equals to A over B times C. That means we are going to divide the quantities whose values are known and multiply by the one that the proportional value is not known. If you see here now, a boy saves what? 15 naira in each day. 50 naira is saved per day. Each day mean 1 day. So this value is already known. This is the proportional value that is known. 50 naira is saved each day. So this can be written as what? 50 naira over 1 day. Then we are going to multiply by the a quantity whose value is not known. Like here says, how much can he save in 12 days? So the amount of money he's going to save in 12 days is not known. So this is our unknown now. So we are going to multiply by these 12 days whose value is not known. So divided by multiply by 12 days. Now, usually days will now go with days. So we are now having 50 naira multiplied by 12. If you This can also be written as 5 times 0. Take 0 to this 2, it become 120. Then we are now having 120 divided by multiply by 5. 0 times 5 is 0. 2 times 5 is 10. Take 1, write 0, take 1, and then 1 times 5 is 5 plus this 1 you carry it, make it 6. So we are having 600 naira. So this is the amount of money that the boy can save in 12 days. So let us now go to the next question. And this question comes from working and earning, which I have already explained in the example that the more you work, the more you pay. More work, more pay. Now, let us solve a problem on that. Say Shinedu earns 2,000 naira in 10 days. How much does he earn in 6 days? As you can see, this 2,000 naira is saved in 10 days. This is the quantity. This quantity here, the value is already known that he will save 2,000 naira in 10 days. So formula say D is equals to A over B times C. Then we now go ahead and say, well, our A and B is what? So we see that 2,000 naira in 10 days, that is known already. That is 2,000 naira divided by 10 days. Then we are going to multiply it by the quantity whose value is not known, which is 6 days. So the amount of money Chinedu will earn in 6 days is not known. So we are going to multiply by this 6, which is what? Times 6 days. Like I told you in the formula earlier, so that these formulas, this place here, these quantities must be of the same value. They must be of the same unit. If here is D, here must be D. And then what you are looking for and this quantity here must be of the same value. So here now, D can cancel D, and this 0 can go with this 0. So we're now left with what? 200 times 6. So we can multiply this. 6 times 0 is 0, 6 times 0 is 0, and 6 times 2 is 12. So that gives us 1,200 naira. So Shinedu can earn 1,200 naira in 6 days. If he can earn 2,000 naira in 10 days, then he will earn 1,200 naira in 6 days. Then we also have a further question on that. Now the next question is going to be on shopping. So let us see how to solve this problem on shopping. And that says that a girl bought 3 sachets of detergent for $120. Now we are asked to find for how much would she buy 20 sachets. So if she buy 3 sachets for $120, so how much will she buy 20 sachets? Now, so usually we write our formula that says D is equals to A over B times C. Don't forget that this B and C must be of the same unit. So see that it bought 3 sachets for this amount. So we are going to write it like this. That is $120 for 3 sachets. They multiply it by what? For how much would she buy 20 sachets now? So we are looking for the cost of 20 sachets of the detergent. That is times 20 sachets. Now, sachet goes with sachet. So we are left with 100. Actually, 3 can divide this number. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 3 divided by 12 is 4. Then this 0 will go here. So we are now left with $40 times 20. So by the time you multiply that, we are having 4 times 2 is 8, and then add the two zeros. That gives us $800. So the girl can buy a 20 sachets of detergent for $800. Now the next question here is foreign exchange. You have a problem on foreign exchange, which is also part of direct proportion. And it says if 1 naira exchanges for 40 cedis, how much will a trader pay for 1,680 cedis? Now, this is actually a common entrance examination. It's an entrance examination. Now, we are still using the formula that says D is equals to A over B times C. Now, which value here are known? 1 naira is exchanging for this amount. So this is already known. So we are going to write it in this form, that 1 naira is going to be what? Is exchanging for 40 cedis. Then multiply it by the quantity that value is not known. That is one. This value now is not yet known. So multiply it by 1,680 cedis. Now we go ahead. Like I told you that this formula, these quantities must be of the same unit. So here is cedis and here is cedis. Always take note of that. If they are not the same, that means that what you are doing is not correct. So the cedis can go with cedis and zero can go with zero. So if you now do 1 naira times 168, that will give us a 168 naira divided by these 4. Now put your naira here. Now 168 divided by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 4 divided by 4 into 16 is 4, and 4 into 8 is 2. So we are left with 42 naira. So the trader will pay 42 naira for this amount of cedis. And then the last question here is on time and distance. Time and distance. So, like I told you in the example, that the more time you travel, the more distance you cover, and the less time you travel, the less distance you cover. That is what direct proportion. Now, let us solve this problem. Now, a man drove 40 kilometers in 6 hours. How far would he travel in 8 hours at the same rate? Now, the formula says D is equals to A over B times C. Actually, which value here are known? 40 kilometers in 6 hours is already known. So we now write it as 40 kilometer in equal to 6 hours multiplied by what? By the unknown. So we are looking for how far he will travel in 8 hours. So that 8 hours, the distance he will cover in 8 hours is not known. So that is multiplied by 8 hours. So as you can see, hour and hour, they have this and this multiple of the same unit. So hour cancel hour, and then we go on to what? Here we can also simplify. 2 can go into this number. 2 into 6 is 3, and 2 into 8 is 4. So we are now having 40 kilometer times 4 divided by 3. Now, let's do this quick multiplication. If you do 4 times 0 is 0, and 4 times 4 is 16. So we have 116 divided by 3 kilometer. Now, let's do this and see. 160 divided by 3. So divide it. 160 divided by 3. 16 divided by 3 will give us 5. 5 remainder 1. Then 10 divide, this 0 become 10. 10 divided by 3 give us 3 remainder 1. So as it is now, we are going to write our answer as this: 53 whole number 1 over 3 kilometer. So this is how far the man will travel in 8 hours. Thank you very much for listening to this video. Now the next video is going to be on indirect or inverse proportion. Please subscribe to our channel and turn on your notification bell for further videos. Thank you.